Okay, so weight loss journey kind of put on a hold-ish like thing. Oh, first, what's up? This your girl Jess, and I am coming to y'all, letting y'all know basically just an update on what's going on. So life has taken me for a bunch of loops, a bunch of turns, and apparently most of my videos now are going to be recorded in my car. No, we are just traveling quite a bit. I know it's quarantine time, but I don't really have much of a choice. So my weight loss journey is put on hold, but ish, you know. So what happened is I ended up taking a small road trip with work, and I had some things I needed to do. And in the process of this, I went down south to Georgia to pick up some things that needed to be delivered. And then when I got down there, the company had some glitch in the system that they didn't want to admit to, and it ended up leading me to just kind of sitting down there because I went all the way down there to get it, and I didn't want to leave empty-handed. And so I just ended up sitting down there for a couple of days, and I'm like, well, I'll work Uber while I'm like UberEats or something while I'm down here. And oh my God, in Savannah, Georgia, probably shouldn't tell you this, but it was amazing working UberEats in Savannah. That's my daughter in the back. That's my other daughter. That's the baby. And that's the baby boy. The only boy. Okay, so anyway, we are on our way to the edge of Ohio next to Pittsburgh. And we're picking something up that's going up to Canton. Then from Canton, we're going to pick up like a motor engine and take it down to Lakemount in Georgia. From there, we're going to hop back up to North Carolina and take something over to Jersey. And if there's anything big there, you know, our goal is to make something around like maybe 1,500. We want to pocket 1,000 when we come off this trip. And we want this trip to last us about 4, maybe 5 days. So we don't care about the driving. We don't really care about the thing, but we figure that in accommodations and food, we're going to spend like 200, maybe $250. In gas and travel, we want to spend somewhere like around like $250. And so that's about 500 in expenses that we plan to have. And we're hoping that if we can keep it right around there, if we make around 1,500, we can still pocket, like 1,000. So our last trip when we went down south, things didn't work out so great. And I figured, you know, I'll go back in, but I'll go back in a little bit wiser. I'll know what I'm getting into. Because, you know, I went in blind before, and, you know, it was an experience. But, I mean, we had fun. We had a ball. I'll still be honest. We had a ball. But while we were down there, because things were so hectic and so chaotic, and we were just so on pins and needles and trying to figure out things, like now we're going to take it in stride. We're going to find fun in between. If we have lulls of nothing and no activity, we are just going to find a way to enjoy ourselves, maybe rent a hotel, go swimming. There's tons of hills and paths to climb, mountains, like there's things to do, you know what I mean? So we're going to find something. We're not going to just like have all that anxiety that we had the first time out. But we are going to just try to make this, we really are going to try to focus on like the business side of this though. Because again, that's the only way we're going to pocket $1,000 in like 4 or 5 days, or 3 to 5 days. I mean, I'm trying to do as short as possible. Because here's the deal. Last trip, things were uptight. Like I said, I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. Last trip though, things were so uptight that I actually lost like 20 pounds that week. Which I'm not complaining, like not in the slightest. I'm not complaining, but I did lose like 18, 19 pounds that week. No lie. I kid you not. So I don't know where I am, but last time I checked, I was like around 363. I'll have to check my app, but I was like around 363. And before that, I was like 380. I think I was either 382 or 380. No, I was 385 or 384. So I actually went down 21 pounds. My bad. So I actually went down 21 pounds. And I was actually like, yeah, that was probably the best thing that could have came out of it, was I lost 21 pounds in a week. And I wasn't stressed. I wasn't trying. I wasn't hurt. I wasn't struggling. We wasn't hungry. Like, we were good. We ate good. We slept good. We just had a lot of anxiety because we were so nervous. Oh, and the heat. Coming from cold Ohio, going down to the heat of that South, it was something different. So, I mean, yeah, it was just different. It was an experience. And it's not one that I would not go back into. I had fun. So we're going back into it. But the other thing is, when we came back off the trip, we think maybe at the hotel or something, I got strep throat. I didn't realize it was strep. When we got back to Ohio, I went to go see my mom, to go to sleep over there, and then we headed back down to Columbus, and I went home. And once I got home, I was in so much pain, I just laid down and passed out. And I slept for like maybe 3 days. Well, not totally slept. Like, I went to sleep the first night. The next day I was like, oh my God, I should go to a doctor. I'm in so much pain. It hurted to swallow. But then I heard horror stories, and I was like, yep, nope, I'm not going to the hospital. Then the next day I actually got in my car to go to the hospital. But then I seen somebody else's horror story about going to the hospital, to the emergency room. And I'm thinking like, oh my God, because you see all these things how in China where everybody was piling into the hospital with masks on and they're sick. And I'm like, aren't you just transmitting the virus to yourself if you don't got it while you're going to see if you got it? So I had all these horror images and nightmares, and then these swabs being shoved up your nose to like they're trying to find Jesus or scramble your brains or something. It was creepy. I just didn't want to go to the hospital. I'm not going to lie. I was afraid to go to the hospital. And so I got in my car to start driving to the hospital, but instead I worked and I had strep throat. And I didn't know, I figured it was strep or the other thing I get that mimics strep. I usually only get 2 of them this time of year, one of the 2. And every year I get one of them. Usually for the last 3 years, it's been the one that mimics strep. And every time I'm like, it's strep, I know it's strep. They're like, yeah, no, you tested negative to strep. Oh, okay, so it's the one that mimics strep. So I get the same pains, but they're like different things, different causes. So one is like more mucus based, and it's like, girls, I'm not gonna get into it, but you clear the mucus, you get rid of the pain, so that it takes no medication. Well, I mean, you could use Mucinex or something like NyQuil. Anyway, the day I got in the car to go to the emergency room, I did not go to the emergency room. I just started working with strep, and then I took some NyQuil when I got home. And then I went back to sleep, and then I woke up again in so much pain. This is now day 3. I'm like, I can't take it. I got my butt up, and I went to that emergency room. And when I went to that emergency room, let me tell you, I set my butt in that hospital. They transferred me from one hospital to the next hospital because apparently those 3 or 4 days that I waited was way too long to wait. And so it got so bad that it created an abscess. They tried to drain it. They stuck needles in my mouth to try to numb it. Then they stuck another needle in my mouth to try to drain it. And it was behind my tonsils, and it was so horrible. And no matter how much I screamed, they just stuck more needles in, and it was so painful. And it was like, I can't do this anymore. So anyway, they was failed procedures. So he transferred me to another hospital where I was then treated and kept, I was monitored for like 2 more days, and I stayed there for a few more days. And then I came home yesterday, and I was supposed to rest. And I rested yesterday. And then I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning and had to get started because the chaos, my life is falling apart, and I can't get rest. I don't think life is fair, and I don't think the things that I'm going through is fair, but I mean, whoever gets the ideal cards, so far it has not been me. So all I'm going to say is I'm going to do the best with what I have. I know a lot of people are going to be really upset that I'm not taking it easy and not resting, and believe me, I'm upset that I can't take it easy and rest. My neck is killing me. It hurts. All of this hurts. And all I want to do is lay down. But, I mean, we got to do what we got to do, right? I got kids I got to take care of. And if I get to lose some more weight on this trip, then it will be worth it. My knees feel 1,000 times better. The arthritis I don't even feel anymore. Well, not much anyway. I mean, it could still be that I'm on medication, but I feel like 1,000 times better than I did before I went into the hospital. I just wish I had time to really recover and get to be 100% before I'm going back out. So once this is all over, I don't know, we'll be able to pay all the bills, and I'll be able to rest maybe a little bit after that. It's just everything's coming down on me right now all at once. And then we're going to have to move pretty soon. Oh, yeah. Cool trick. So you pay your credit card bill, right? Pay your minimum. Like, say, for people who pay over your minimum, Pay whatever your minimum is, right? Then the next week pay a little bit more, and then the next week pay a little bit more. Make 2 to 4 payments per month. Either make 1 payment a week or a payment every other week, but make 2 to 4 payments a month, right? Your credit score will go through the roof. My score just jumped like almost 50 points in 1 month just from doing that. I tried it out. So this month I'm going to try it out with my credit card and then add my student loan, and I'm going to make multiple payments to my student loans and see what happens. So this is just, a little tidbit of information in case somebody want to try it. Let me know what happens with y'all credit scores. Please leave it in your comments. And yes, if you're not subscribed, subscribe. If you, subscribe. Just subscribe. Leave a comment, subscribe, say hello, like my video. All right, y'all, I gotta go. I'm about to get back on the road. I will update y'all on this road trip, how it goes. Right now we're at our first stop, and we're about to go pick up our first item, which I'll show you guys later. Bye.